Welcome. We are doing a meal prep video. It is back to school and I need to prep all of the lunches and the snacks for the week, because if I don't, then it just makes me crazy and I feel unprepared, and that's my life. So firstly, we're gonna do up some taco meat. So we're just gonna do some ground beef with taco seasoning. Carter wants quesadillas. This has been like a big lunch item for a while in our house. I do make the quesadillas fresh in the morning, but I'm just gonna have some taco meat ready to go to put in the quesadillas. So we're gonna do that first. We're also gonna do granola bars, and we're gonna do some pumpkin muffins for breakfasts, and I might do some egg cups. We'll see what the kids want for breakfast this week. Yeah. Anyways, let's get started. Okay, so I cooked up the ground beef and I am just draining it and I'm gonna let it cool. And while I do that, I'm gonna make the granola bars. So granola bars, I'm gonna put the recipes in the description below. So if you want the exact recipes, and also I know I'm a mess, but like mom life. Let me take these off so you don't have the glare. Granola bars are actually like really easy, and for the most part you can kind of just like put whatever you want in them, as long as you have a binder. So for my binder, I'm going to use honey and I'm going to use melted coconut oil. I don't have a lot of this one, but I do buy this bad boy. It's $16.99 from Costco for like 800 million pounds of it. And I know that that can seem excessive, but like this at the store is like $7. So it's such a good buy. This one, there's a big guy from Costco. So as long as you have a binder to hold it all together, and you don't want to put too many like big chunky things in it, if that makes sense, because you want it to be more like uniform. So I'm using these oats that I also get from Costco, but you can use whatever oats you have. These are gluten-free sprouted oats, and don't think we're all fancy here, because we're not. It's just what they have at Costco. So I'm gonna do 2 cups of oats, and I'm actually gonna put this in a bowl and I'm gonna melt it. So we need about a half a cup of melted coconut oil. My kids are like absolutely ridiculous. Anyways, I'm gonna open it with my teeth. No, I'm not. It won't open. Houston, we have a problem. Oh my God. There we go. Holy Moses. So I'm gonna put this in the microwave while I add our other ingredients. Okay, so we got our oats in here. Now I'm gonna add kind of like our dry ingredients first, so that when I put like the sticky stuff in, it doesn't all clump together. So I'm gonna add hemp parts. Now, I don't know if I already said this or not, but I am making these nut-free because they're for school. I'm gonna add some ground flax, and I'm just kind of like eyeballing it. I would say maybe a third of a cup of each. And I'm also adding some chia seeds. Ooh, that kind of came out first. That was more than half or a third of a cup. That's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. Okay. Now I'm gonna squirt in. Of course, this has like 2 double. Hang on it. There we go. Oh, and I'm also gonna add dark chocolate chips that I had a whole bag of that my kids like to eat them. So it's not going to be very chocolate chippy for them. So I am going to squirt about a half a cup in there. Our melted coconut oil, which is also about a half a cup. And I just have a spoon and I'm going to mix this all together. Now, you just want it to be like coated, nicely coated and sticky. I'm gonna show you like what it looks like. And then you're gonna like press it firmly. I'll show you, but you're just going to press it firmly into, I'm gonna use a parchment lined dish. So your texture, it should be like if you kind of like formed it into a ball, it should kind of stay like that. You know what I'm saying? All right, now, what do I got? I got I'm gonna use this guy, and I'm going to line it with parchment. Once you put everything in there, it's gonna like stay more nicely. As you can see, my big mess here, that's fine. So I'm just going to, let me put you down so you can kind of like more see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm gonna take this mixture here and I'm just going to throw it in the pan. And then I'm gonna use my hands to flatten it out as like evenly as possible. So you kind of, your goal here is to get like an even layer. So you don't want like some spots that are like way bigger than others. You know what I mean? Down. Like you want to pack this as tightly as you can, because if you don't pack it enough, then it's going to fall apart, and we don't want it to fall apart. Okay, so this is what it should look like, and you can kind of see here, like it's not loose anymore. It should be, like I said, like packed as tightly as and uniformly as possible. And then we're gonna pop these in the fridge and let that coconut oil set up again, because that's what's, and the honey, that's what's going to let your granola bars like firm up so that you can cut them. All right, so I'm gonna let those firm up in the fridge for a couple of hours before I cut them, and then I'm gonna like kind of package them individually, so that I can just throw them in a lunchbox, you know? And honestly, I think that took me all of 10 minutes to do, maybe less. So it's not hard, it's not time consuming. It's way better than the shit that you buy in the grocery stores. Those granola bars are literally like just packed full of sugar. If you like look at the ingredients, even the ones that like are the made goods and the ones that say that they're super healthy, it's literally just like straight sugar and enriched flours and things like that. So if you can make them yourself, you should, because it's just way better and they taste better and they're better quality and it's just better for everyone. Anyhow, so I'm gonna clean up here, and then in a little bit I'll come back and do the pumpkin muffins. All right, it's been a couple hours and I'm gonna take these granola bars out of the fridge. Here they are. They look delicious and they smell really good. And I'm literally just gonna pop this whole piece of parchment out, and you can see they're like super stiff and held together. That's what you want. And they taste really good. And you don't even have to wash them. Of course. So anyhow, now we're gonna cut them. And what you're gonna do to cut them, you're going to use a very sharp knife. Let me put you down so you can see again what I'm doing. Okay. Move this paper out of your way so you get the full view here. So you're gonna take a very sharp knife to cut them, and you're gonna cut them in granola bar sized strips. And I would say the size of pan that I have, you can do about 3 granola bars. And this is what they look like when they're done. You can see they're holding together really well, which is nice. Obviously, you have to try one for science. They're really good. So now I'm just gonna put them away in these Tupperware containers. And you can use the parchment to separate them so they don't stick together. Like this. And then store them in the fridge. Very importante. All right, let's get going on these pumpkin muffins. So I already have my pumpkin open because I made Starbucks copycat pumpkin cream. If you want the recipe, it's on my Instagram, cat.fitsp. Go check me out. Okay, I'm gonna do this in my KitchenAid. You don't have to if you don't have a KitchenAid. So first we're gonna do, this is 1/4 cup, so we're gonna do 1 cup of pumpkin. And this just happens to be the measure thing that I have in here right now. So we're gonna do 1 cup of pumpkin. We're gonna do 1 cup of flour. We're gonna do 1/2 cup of coconut sugar. Yeah, 1/2. Now, you could use granulated sugar or brown sugar. This is what I have, and this is what I personally like to use. And we're also gonna do 1/3 cup of melted coconut oil. So I'm gonna get that in the microwave. In the microwave. We're also gonna preheat our oven to 350 degrees. We want 2 eggs. 1. 2. 1/3 cup coconut oil. Perfection. We're gonna do about a teaspoon of vanilla. We're gonna do about a tablespoon each of pumpkin pie spice. I'm eyeballing all of this. If you are like new to baking, don't eyeball it, okay? And our cinnamon. You know what? I was gonna put this in the mixer, but now I just feel too lazy to do that. I have to like connect it and get the thing out. I'm just gonna use this busted ass whisk instead. Oh, we also have to add a little bit of salt. Where's my salt? Just a wee bit. I'm gonna add this. I do measure because if it came out a lot, it would be devastating. So I'm gonna do 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Now we're just gonna mix to incorporate. And this is what it should look like. It should look, can you see? It should look not thick, but not like soupy. Like, let me see here. like a little bit thicker than like cake batter, let's say. I have these white chocolate chips and I was planning to add more, but my kids fucking eat them all. So we're adding what we got, which isn't a whole heck of a lot. I have the little mini muffin tin. This is what I like to use because it just makes it easier to give to the baby. So I'm gonna fill these up. Okay, so I've divided them just into these muffin tins, and then I'm gonna pop them in the oven at 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes, depending on your oven. I find these silicone molds are a little wishy-washy in the oven, so I do put a baking tray underneath it, just so like these parts don't like fall into the grate. So yeah, so we did granola bars, that will be for snacks. The pumpkin muffins can also be for snacks or for breakfast. Definitely for breakfast for this little Tukey monkey over here. And I'm sure the boys will get into them as well. And we did our ground beef for our quesadillas for lunch. And that's it for today, but I'll probably prep some more throughout the